Okay guys, you saw me out in the garden a little while ago picking those enormous cabbages, and now we are in making sauerkraut. And this is one bowl here, and I've got another crock right here. This is the insert for my crock pot. And the goal is to get all of this into this one crock, and I'm hoping this fits. But to this, this is about 2.5 pounds of shredded cabbage so far. And to this I have added 1/8 of a cup of salt, and you can use whatever salt you have on hand. I used sea salt. We're going to just keep stirring this up and letting that salt react with this cabbage. And it's going to start to break the cabbage down, and it's going to get juicy. It's going to form its own brine, and it's going to kind of wilt and sit down into the bowl. And we're going to end up getting both of these into this one crock here. So, and then hopefully I can get this extra cabbage back here that I've still got cut up and put in there as well. And then the total will be about 5 pounds of cabbage. When you get 5 pounds of cabbage, you're going to use 1/4 cup of salt total. So remember that. And that is all you're going to use in this, guys. This is going to sit in this crock for about 2 to 4 weeks, and it's going to ferment. We're going to keep testing it, and I'll take you guys along with me for that. And because this is my first time making sauerkraut as well. So we're going to kind of experiment with this one together. And I have an abundance of cabbage in the garden this year, and I love sauerkraut. And we all know that fermented foods are so good for us. And when you buy sauerkraut in the store, that's actually been cooked. And so the beneficial enzymes are gone from that sauerkraut. And so doing it this way, we're going to have all of those beneficial enzymes still in the sauerkraut, and it's going to be so good for us. So I'm going to keep stirring this up, and we'll come back to you in a little bit when this is starting to break down. I'm already seeing a little bit of a difference in this bowl here. It's kind of starting to shrink down a little bit. So I'll be back with you in a little bit when this shrinks down. Okay guys, it's been about 10 minutes, and this is really starting to shrink down. You can see it's down pretty far below the top of the crock now. And I'm making a huge mess in my kitchen, but it's just salt water, right? So I actually got some more of that cabbage into this one and just added a little bit more salt. But again, the recipe that I found online called for 5 pounds of cabbage to 1/4 cup of salt. So I'm going to keep working on this, and I'll be back in a few. Okay, so it actually was really super easy, and I think I will make this again because this was really easy. It's all in this crock now. All those 2 huge bowls of cabbage are now in this crock, and apparently, from what I understand, this is going to continue to make its own brine, and the brine will actually come up to the top of the container. And I'm going to check later on tonight and make sure that it's doing that. But it's going to lose its juices, and they're going to just lay in there, and that's what ferments and makes this beautiful brine. And as soon as it is the flavor that you want, you need to stop the fermenting process. So 2 to 4 weeks is what I understand. We're going to taste it, and if it's how we want it to be, we're going to stop the fermenting process by putting it in the refrigerator. So at that time, I'll put it in jars and stick it in the fridge. Now, this all has to remain underneath the surface of the brine. So later on, tonight probably, or tomorrow, I'm going to check and make sure that it's under the surface of the brine. And if it's not, then I'll have to weight it down with like a plate or something on top of that. But in the meantime, while I'm waiting, I'm just going to put the lid on this, container here so that it doesn't stink up the house, because I think it's going to get stinky. So I got it down here in my guest bedroom next to the hazelnuts that are still drying. So I will keep you guys posted. We'll do an update on this in a week or so and let you know how this is going. But I'm really excited about this because I love sauerkraut, and I can make it myself. This is great. It's going to maintain all of its healthy enzymes and probiotics and all that good stuff because it's raw fermentation and not cooked fermentation. So this is really cool. I will keep you guys posted on how this goes. Have a great night.